Today is day 7 of writing from my future self. I honestly didn't expect much change in 7 days, but what I'm experiencing now is so exciting that I want to share my process with you. So, borrowing the words of Neville Goddard, live from the end, I call this journaling exercise journaling from the end. So, Neville Goddard's living from the end is all about embodying the end state. That is the state where you've already manifested what you desire. So it's the outcome that you currently desire, that you're dreaming of now. So journaling from the end is all about placing yourself there, placing yourself in the position of your future self, and writing about your day in the present tense. So for example, what does it feel like when you wake up in the morning? How do you start your day? Do you have a morning routine? What's on your to-do list? How do you feel as you're going about your day? Who's with you? Are there people that are supporting you? And what are you grateful for at the end of this day? So it's really about experiencing a normal day in the life of your future self. And in the beginning, I found it to be quite challenging. I wasn't sure what to imagine. I was feeling a little bit blocked. But by day 4, I was writing pages. I was getting so detailed. I was really embodying the end state. I could really feel the emotions of my future self. And it really felt like I was writing as her. And what I'm imagining may not be accurate. That may not be what it feels like to live as her. But that's not the point. It's not about accuracy. It's about emotional familiarity. And that is the biggest obstacle to our imagination. We can visually imagine anything, but to actually buy into that imagination, it needs to feel emotionally familiar, which means that it has to be believable and it has to feel safe. And if you're into manifestation like I am, then you know that the most important thing in manifestation isn't visualization. It's not the exercises, it's not the technique. You need to believe that what you are manifesting is possible for you. It needs to feel like it is yours. And that's why in manifestation, people always say like, it's already yours. But it's really difficult to imagine and to believe that it's already yours when it's something that you've never experienced before and you're not sure how to get there. And I feel that this journaling exercise really bridges that gap. It doesn't tell you how you get there, but it does give you a glimpse into the life that you could have, and it makes it feel believable. When the future that you're manifesting feels believable, familiar, and normal, then it's yours. Then it's already yours. That is when you can detach. That's when you can live in the end state. You can embody the version of you who has what you want. And that's what I'm feeling now. After 7 days of journaling from the end, my future self, the goals that I have in mind, they don't seem so far and out of reach. They don't seem so intimidating and unimaginable. They feel really familiar. I can imagine all the scenes that I've described in my journal. I can bring up those images in my mind and they feel like they're already a part of my life. The reason I'm so excited that this is happening is because this is how I manifested my acceptance into the grad school of my choice a few years ago. So this was when I didn't know anything about manifestation. I'm not sure I'd even heard of manifestation at that time. But once I read about Neville Goddard's Living from the End, I realized that's what I'd done. So the first time I applied to quite a few schools, and I didn't get a single acceptance letter. I got rejected by every single school. Yet I held on to the idea that I would get into the grad school of my choice. In my mind's eye, I could see myself living in New York City as a grad student. I already knew what it would feel like to walk the streets of New York City, what it would feel like to spend my weekends in Central Park, what it would feel like to go grocery shopping and have a very normal daily routine in New York City. Because the images were so vivid in my mind and I could fully embody the sensations of being in New York, it just felt so convincing. And because I was so convinced, I only ended up applying to 2 grad schools. And those 2 grad schools ended up being the top 2 universities in New York City. And it was a really risky thing to do, but it didn't feel risky at the time because I was so convinced. Because I had been living in the end for so many months that I just knew that I would get into both schools. And I did. And it's so surprising because nothing really changed between the first and second time that I applied. I applied to these 2 schools the first time around as well. And it's not like I'd gained a lot more experience. It's not like, my test scores had changed. But the only thing that changed was my belief. So now I know how powerful living from the end actually is. So the most important part to manifestation is being able to imagine and believe the end state. And that's exactly what journaling from the end does. So I'm going to keep this up for the next few weeks and I'll give you another update. If you try this out as well, please let me know how it goes in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experience.